Hello. Hello.
You gotta turn your camera on, Alan.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Hello.
There's a webcam.
You guys are
icon.
the webcam?
Webcam icon. You need to press that.
Hello?
This is gonna go good.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, it's a miracle.
Weird. He doesn't have an LA jersey on.
Oh! Dang, I got it.
Are you sure you guys want to do this?
Hey, I'm lagging, guys.
Don't look at yourself when you're doing
Don't
this.
look at yourself.
Everything we've
I
ever
can't
done
hear
is
you.
always lagging, Gordo.
So hey,
Excuse me?
we're officially on. We're in a free chat room, but everyone can hear us. So
Wondo, when you speak to me, speak into the mic, please.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear any of us, Lenny?
All right, serious.
Don't fall for it.
Wait, is he joking, Jed, or is he serious?
yeah, yes, you're good. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm on live.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
We can tell which
Can you guys
person
hear me?
is working right now. Alan's the only one who's clean shaven with nice hair. That's good.
Tells you who made the least money in their career. Lenny lives in a van. Wando, he's like the California. I've made so much money that I have to look as poor as I possibly can. That makes me cool.
I'm in the woods, man. I've been panning for gold. Just been searching the rivers for gold right now. Panning by myself.
The spruce box?
No, but I just ordered. I have the green pan. I just ordered blue bowl to really get the fine gold dust and to help me pan. But once I get done, but yeah, I've been doing that.
Come up there, bro.
Come up, please.
I love that.
You trouble.
It would.
So is it just us guys, or
Just
It's-
us, bro. Who else do you need?
2-3 fans are watching, but not on video. They're listening to you.
oh, they're listening? They're out there on the web.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Hi, people.
I'm glad that they could. That I did not know that they could hear us, so that's good to know. All right.
That is good to know. Water everywhere.
Well, I
That's,
mean,
that's probably using the chat function too, so they can.
Well, this is new.
Yeah.
This is fun, guys. This is very, help me out here.
Exciting. Yeah. Exciting.
Very,
Virginia, dude. Virginia can't get her video working, and I'm just telling her there's a video on the top. You got to click on it, and then it'll.
I see where they're talking. Okay. All right. I see you.
Did you want to get started with any explanation? Or do you want me to just go?
You can go for it.
Okay. All right. It's 5 o'clock anyway. I guess we can officially start. So welcome to all the Quakes fans that are jumping on. For those of you who have been on previous group chats like this or calls with us, with our players or coaches, etc. Normally, everybody can see each other. We're using a different software today where only the presenters are available for video and everybody else is on audio and can watch the action. So you get to watch Stephen, Allen, and Chris this whole time. But if you have questions, you can go into the attendee chat and put your questions there, and they can answer your questions as we go. But my name is Jed Meddy. I'm the Executive VP for the Earthquakes. Kicking off the call, we have former Quakes striker Alan Gordon having a drink up there in his home in Colorado. Thanks for coming, Alan. We have Stephen Lenhart in a nice denim look in Southern California with a good mustache going. And we have Chris Wondolowski deep in the woods, waiting for the return of MLS as soon as possible. So the format today, I'll kick it off with some questions for them to get them going. They're just going to chat with each other and reminisce, and then answer some of your questions. And we'll do this from about 5 till 6. So without further ado, I guess we'll kick it off. I did have a first question that I really wanted to know about that I never really got an answer to. When in 2011, how did Alan and Steven, what was your first meeting like when you knew that you were posing, in the same position, same type of striker? What was the first meeting you guys had? Who introduced you? How'd that go?
Same type of striker is a really, really loose term.
That was pretty
loose. I'll let Lenny start, and then I'll time.
I'd never heard of Alan Gordon. I thought we just brought in a new water boy or like a guy that tape ankles. It was like an intern. So I was totally fine with this scraggly haired guy rolling, and then I realized that he was somewhat of a striker, and then I threw a cold shoulder at him actually for.
Lenny was very, very insecure. He has heard my name around the league. It's kind of like a badass. I don't know. That's what I've heard, but did not want me around at all. So I was trying to. I had a truck at the time, and we were both living in Santa Cruz. And I was trying to save some damn gas money, and he had a Prius, and I wanted to get in with this guy, and he was just like, "No, we're competition, like Wando's my partner. You don't get near him." And then I was like, "All right, this guy's gonna give me no love." So we're basically driving separate over the hill every day. Until I broke down Lenny's walls.
How'd you break down my walls?
It was not easy. It was not easy. When you deal with Lenny, you got to be willing to go all the way. So, in turn, when you try to break down his walls, he breaks down your walls, and then you end up basically knowing everything about each other, and you go down the abyss of Mr. Lenhart. And if you're a good person, he lets you in. But so I don't know why he let me in. But he did, and then it was the start of a great friendship, one that we still have today.
Chris, did you have any involvement in breaking the ice between the two of them, or talking to them about strike partners or anything like that, or are you just totally mute on the subject?
Pretty mute, but no, I'm just kidding. They're pretty much the exact same to me, so they're just interchangeable. I'm kidding. My first actually memories of both of them, why I thought they were both really cool and knew they'd be friends, is Lenny coming over to the team. We had Beta on the team before, and so we already had Steven, and people were like, "Well, yeah, what should we call you?" And he just comes out, "I want to be called Lenny." And we're just like, "No, man, you've been in the league. Like, we call you Steve, we call you Steven. Like, I'm not gonna call you this guy. Like, you have enough respect. I'm calling you, calling you Steve." He's like, "No, I want to be Lenny." I was like, "All right, I can ride with that. I like this." And then I remember Gordo. This is right before he gets traded midway from Toronto. Well, we'll speak on why he was traded, but he comes in and knew a lot of great stories about Gordo, and I love him. But he wanted to play golf with me, and so go to meet him at Cinnabar Hills, and I come ready, and me and him kind of know what ready is. Come ready for a round, and I go up to the putting green, and he has no shoes on and stock golf cart and ready to roll. And I go, "Wow, this guy's all right." I'm ready for 18 holes. He scores a goal against Portland and has surgery the next day. And I didn't see him for 3 months, but I was like, this guy's amazing. I love him. So from there on, I knew that both these guys were good guys. So
let me tell you some details. Gordo got traded from Toronto for punching the trainer in the face. when Wondo says he was stocked and ready to go for golfing, he had 48 beers in his golf bag. So those are just a couple details that are
Thanks for
very
keeping it real. Thanks for keeping it real.
yeah.
Listen, I mean, when you're on a new team, you got to put your best foot forward. And if you're not very good at soccer, you at least got to be a good drinker, and that's what I've relied on my entire career. You know, hey, Gordo's he's all right, but he can drink.
Gotta have a good time.
Gotta have a good time, dude. I love this question. Hold on, sorry, Doug.
Yeah, go. You can read any question you want. Let's do it.
Dude, this is brilliant. Question for Wondo.
Oh no.
Who is actually smarter between Lenny and Gordo? I want to know this response as well.
I can't lie. I mean, it is Gordo. I mean, Lenny. It depends on the subject. If you're talking about massage and maybe some meditation, I mean, if you're going for a yogi, Lenny's my man. But yeah, business.
He's looking for a topic. Wait.
Any business, any other topic. I'm going Gordo. Gordo's my man for all other on Jeopardy.
The thing is Gordo just like has a louder voice and a little bit bigger insecurity that he's not being heard. So he tends to like get his point out there, so everybody has to hear it. So he kind of steals the stage in that regards. If that's smart and then that's fine. But I would like whoever asked that question. I'm curious why you're asking Chris that question.
Who's smart. I mean, that's a fair.
I never called you Chris either.
Listen, no, from all three of us, we probably couldn't score if we all had one SAT test. Between the three of us, we probably wouldn't get over 1,000.
No.
Lenny thinks he's pretty smart.
I just read a comment from Gabby, my old homie. I totally remember you and hi. And what have I been doing since I left the Quakes? I don't remember. I don't know what I've been doing. No, I've been traveling a lot. I've been in Europe and in Asia, and I've been studying massage and consciousness.
Living out of a van.
Meditation, and I raised
Down by the river.
Also.
I play music, and I babysat. I babysat for like 3 hours today, and I surf a lot.
How old are the kids?
7 months and 3 years old.
Who's kids?
My little sisters.
Oh, no.
Nice. How's that going?
Hi, Gabby.
Alan, are you looking at a question there? Or do you want?
I'm looking at a lot of questions. These are good questions, man. I like these. I mean, Buckshaw was special because I think the Quakes have always. I mean, they've always thrived with big physical guys, and it was tight. And honestly, the most special thing for us for me anyway, was that it was so intimate. And the Quakes fans that were there, like Lenny remembers, who was it? Lenny?
What? Gabby.
Debbie?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Debbie. And I remember a lot of Quakes fans there because they were there every time, and it was intimate, and you got to see them. And the best thing about Wondo, Wondo kind of led the charge, and no matter if we won or lost, Lenny or Wondo would be out there, and he would sign 150 autographs. He would go around the entire stadium. He was not coming in the locker room until he signed everybody, and he's done that in his entire career. And that taught me a lot. I wish I would have been better in that regard, but we all spent time with the fans there, and that was really what was special for us is seeing those faces every night and people that really truly cared. And if we didn't need a fancy stadium and full with people that were just there to see one star. They were just there to see us all. They had a connection to us. We had a connection to them. And you know, some of the best memories I've had in my entire career came from Buckshot. As funny as it was.
For me, I think Buckshot kind of piggyback on that. I think that Buckshot kind of embodies with that, especially that 2012 team, kind of embodies as well, just that blue collar. You know, it wasn't the prettiest, but it was a great field. They got the job done, and it was a lot of fun playing there while we were there. And so it was some good memories, and definitely helped my basketball game too. I definitely can hit some 3-pointers because of Buckshot, so I'm grateful for that.
Dude, I've never seen you make a bucket in your life.
I was this big shot Bob, basically Robert Orion though, just all the time when it came down the wire. A lot of times I remember catching you, especially in the last spot. Money.
You can't.
There was an incident though, wasn't there? Oh goodness.
I can't. I mean, I'm nothing. Yeah.
Alan and Steven, wasn't there, maybe it was many times, wasn't there an incident in a game of horse? I remember walking into Levy Center at Santa Clara when there's a lot of arguing going on and basketball being slammed off one of the walls as I head towards the locker room. Maybe you can recount the game. Was it a one-on-one game or a horse matchup? Like what was the deal there?
Which time, dude? Every third.
Exactly. I was every day with those two. Everything was a fight, and it would turn into usually them throwing the ball at each other. And so even when they were on the same team, that's when they fought the most. Is usually when they were partners. But
the thing about Wondo is he acts like he's not competitive, and it just comes off wrong. So I like to keep that part of him in check where he's like, oh, I'm not competitive, I'm just good. And like literally 5 seconds later, he's punting a ball at me. And I'm like, why are you bro? Like, just be good.
Okay, you're the good guy. I'm the bad. You're a good cop. I'm bad cop. Good story. Okay. So
did anybody of you three beat Mike Opara in a game, or could you hang with him?
Opara?
Yeah.
Not even the same ballpark, pal. He's not even playing the same sport.
Ike, I don't even remember an Ike. What do you mean?
Yeah, let me tell you a little story. So I told this on another show. I'll make it brief because I want to play a fun little game with this question. So Lenny comes up last year. Lenny comes up to my house. He calls me one night. He's like, Gordo, I'm coming to Colorado. And I'm like, okay, when? He's like, tomorrow. He's like, can I stay at your house? And I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll just ask the wife, and no problem. Thanks for the heads up, pal. So he comes over. He's in this week-long class. I mean, is that class even legal that you did? Can I say it publicly? In Colorado Springs, a week-long class. They're dissecting a human body like layer by layer, like very, very intense stuff. Like for a different conversation, like nasty, dude. Like very intriguing, deep, whatever you want to call it, depending on who you are. But it was like they are dissecting a human body layer by layer. Anyway, so I'm going to work out before work, and I'm like, Lenny, come on, come with me to get a workout in. He's like, fine. So there's a big basketball court before we go up, and he's like, hey, let's, for all time's sake. And Lenny thinks Lenny's a big Kobe guy, thinks he's Kobe, and I'm like, all right, let's play that old game we used to play, the one you were talking about. We used to all play this game, this 3-point game. It was fantastic. I proceed to just annihilate this guy. Annihilate. Okay, 3 games in a row. And you gotta, mind you, it's better because Lenny comes in like this free spirit, living in a van, doing massage, like listening to the body and the spirit. Like I caught him outside. I woke up at 6 a.m. I walked into my living room. He's in his underwear doing yoga in my backyard. My backyard is like farm style. There's no fences. And I'm like, dude, everybody can see you. And he's got this like Chinese music going on and all this stuff. So So he's very the competitiveness in him he's ignored, right? But nobody can get it out of him like me. So I annihilate this guy 3 times in a row. And I'm like, let's go get a lift, dude. Let's go get a lift. So there's a little soccer field next to it. And he's like, no. He's like, let's play 3-2-1, which is a little juggling game. And he's like, so we start playing and we can't even get through the first game. We cannot even start to count because we're arguing with each other. And then we start punting. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. It's 6 a.m. We're punting. We end up punting the ball at each other. 2 grown men. We're screaming at each other. We're getting this adult dodgeball game where he kicks it at me. I try to catch it. I grab it. I try to punt it at him. It goes across the gym. He runs to go get it, picks it up, comes sprinting at me to throw it at me. And we argue. Then we go upstairs. We're screaming at each other. We go upstairs, and then he takes me through a yoga session, and all was back to normal. It was fantastic.
Get it out. The polarities, man.
So, quick little question.
Did you have a question regarding that, or did you just want to talk about me?
No, usually my side that wins. Hey, let's move on to this question. Lenny, I want to hear, and Wondo, I want you guys to do this little quick shot. This is a good question. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the following names? And I want you guys to shoot one word answers. Sam Cronin, Shea Salinas, Ramiro Corrales, Justin Morrow, John Bush.
Oh, you gotta go one at a time. You can't just go exactly. You can't give us. No,
well, you guys can see the questions.
No,
right?
There's a lot.
608. Brian. 608. Go to 608.
508 Pacific, 608.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right.
That's up there, dog.
Yeah.
Are people chiming in here or what?
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the following names? Go one at a time.
Okay.
We'll start with Wondo.
Wondo, go first.
Sam Foundation, Shea Fast, Ramiro Cowboy, Justin Dreads. I don't know why, just for saying Bush, Hardworking, Garza. Garza. Gary Hernandez, my right now. We have Victor. Muma, big Muma, love. But
Sam Cronin, old reliable. Shea Salinas, all around class. Ramiro Corrales, wild man. Justin Morrow, he's gonna give you what he's gonna give you. John Bush, tiny body, big heart. Sam Garza, what are you doing? Jason Hernandez, my guy. Victor Bernardez, scarier than Olave.
yeah.
I'm not doing mine. You guys are way nicer.
Oh,
than
you
me.
gotta do it.
I'm not doing mine. All right.
All right.
Sammy, Mr. Fundamentals, Shea Salinas, Spastic, Ramiro Corrales, legend, Justin Morrow, solid, John Bush, pass, Sam Garza, lost, Jason Hernandez, freaking Rican, Victor Bernardez, mangina.
It's true. It's true.
It's so true.
True, man. Victor Bernardez would just put on the loudest reggaeton song and transform himself into a mangina and dance around the locker room.
Yeah.
The music was loud.
Hey, which of you has the fiercest goal celebration? Definitely Wondo.
Gordo did push-ups after years, and then you did pull-ups. So I couldn't do either one of those. I can't do a full pull-up. You what?
Yeah, but you turn into the Hulk. You lose your mind. You black out.
Yeah. You're finding, dude. I'm not on that level. I just do funny things. You guys are psycho.
I've seen
Hey, Lenny and Alan, what was the most psycho Wondo celebration of all of his goals that you remember from 12, 13? What was the one we went the craziest?
They're all the same, Jed.
I remember one. Wondo will remember this because this is how Wando's mind works. So he'll fill in the details. There was a game, I believe it was against Dallas, maybe Portland. It was Portland. He knows what I'm talking about before I even talk about it. Frank wanted to rest a few players, and so he didn't start Wondo. I think we went down 2 goals, Wondo.
Yeah.
Did we go down 2 or 1? 2 goals. We go down 2 goals. We're chasing the supporter shield, and Wondo comes on, and all 3 of us were on, I believe, right? And we end up tying the game. Did we tie that game?
Yeah, we tied it 2-2.
Right. I flicked for the winner. I think I flicked it to Lenny. Lenny slid and notched.
You guys had on both of the goals. Both of you guys combined for me to score on both of the goals.
And Wondo scores 2, and he loses his mind at Frank. And Wondo loves Frank like a dad, and he loses it. And he's just he just couldn't control himself. He loses it, and he turns around. I think he punched somebody in the stomach. I think it was me. It was he punched
you.
It was me. He punches me in the stomach. I'm like, dude, he lost it. It was madness.
I have there's a frame by frame picture. There's about 4 frames, and it's just it's like your face, you're about to give me a high five, so excited, and then it just goes getting punched in the gut.
Yeah. And I think he was saying F you to Frank, F you, what are you doing?
You know what, in the locker room afterwards, I knew Wondo would get motivated by me benching him like that. That's what right when he walked in the locker room.
Did he say that?
Yeah, classic. I do remember that game because they just showed that on replay here. I did want to ask, not a serious question, but at the end of that game, I forgot. It was a corner kick, and I think there was 10 guys up in the box to try to get the winner. And it was Ramiro hit a semi not great corner kick, and it skidded out. It was a 4-on-1 break for Portland. And I think it was only Beta was back. And out of the camera shot, no one was in. All of a sudden, Lenny came out onto camera, sprinting back and slid tackle. I think it was Bright DK as he shot for the winning goal. And he ended up shooting it wide by 5 feet. And he crumpled him to the ground. Do you guys all remember that play? Or
yeah,
that was I felt like that was a perfect epitome of 2012. It wasn't only attacking and stuff. It was everybody on the team was willing to throw their body into anything to make to get a win or a tie or a point. What do you guys remember most about 2012?
That's the only reason why I was ever in the MLS was because I would make those runs back, and I always said that I was just the first defender on the field. I wasn't a forward. I was just the first defender. That's how I treated my career.
Is there anything else in 2012? Wanda, you remember the most?
Yeah, I just remember honestly just the laughs and the good times. Just the silly times about shirts off finishing. We had to deal with Ian Russell that I think we had to get to 18 wins and we could do our finishing with our shirts off. And even guys like Josh Suggs were, I remember him, and I don't know, stuff like this. Just those memories all just keep coming back and are what always make me just chuckle and remember how great that was.
The great part about that team was that there was no egos, and that our leading goal scorer and our captain, we had a couple leaders on the team, but were willing to do the dirty work and willing to show up on Monday and train the hardest. And so that kind of created the foundation for kind of everyone to have a voice, and then people would get behind the guy that had a good idea, and it just became this amorphous family thing that we all just genuinely liked each other and respected each other's approach to the work and off the field. But it was just like fun on the field and off the field, constant like connecting, fun, like getting each other's back, not just on the field, but like in our personal lives. And like that came from Frank all the way down to the bottom. And the culture, like, yeah, we were winning and stuff, but the experience of being on that team was more than winning. Like we created some bonds there that like words probably don't even do a good job of explaining like how meaningful those years were. And the fans were totally a part of that, and the front office staff was totally a part of that too. I think everyone was just picking up on that vibe, and like so much fun, man. For sure 2012 is a year.
Or one of the things I loved too was it was the only team that kind of literally had a tangible switch that could turn on. We could go from joking around to, horsing around to all of a sudden we knew when we had to flip that switch and become the most competitive guys that you did not want to be against and battling. And you knew that we had 11 guys that were going to do the exact same thing, and it was going to be relentless. It was, I don't know, that was kind of a cool thing.
And for real, like we could switch back into like, there was always someone that was able to switch the switch back. And it like, there were so many character guys on that team that weren't just like fierce assholes, but like fun people to be around. So it just made a really interesting dynamic, led by Frank himself, who is probably the master of that.
You guys have a best Frank memory from that time? From 11, 12, 13?
I remember, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I remember one practice, he called like a goal back in the small-sided. I think it was small-sided at like the end of practice, or like he didn't call a handball or something like that. It was one of those two. And I just remember losing my shit on Frank. I looked over and was just like, you're not even fucking paying attention. I just lost my crap. Just went at him, and his response, he looked to the side. I think he was talking to Ramiro, or I think he was talking to Ramiro, and he like looked at him and was like, "Is he talking to me?"
I remember that.
Is Lenny talking? And that's the way he dealt with it. He just like he just laughed. But yeah, not a lot of people would react that way.
Any questions on here you guys want? I can grab. Alan, you were looking at all the questions before. I don't want to stop your roll on that. But
while you're looking, I'm gonna go on one Frank story I loved. I've told this one before, but we were in Colorado and we were down 2-1, and Gordo scores it. I believe probably like the 85th minute, 87th minute. And at this time, we already were playing our patented, 9 forwards at the time, and Bush in the back. And Victor already had his red card as well. And we turned to Frank and asked him, what formation should we play now? Should we go back to a 4-4-2? And he's looked at us and said, keep going. 2-2 on the road in Colorado, mile high out there, go for the win. And sure enough, Gordo gets absolutely mauled in the box, and it goes down, and we get a PK, and we win it 3-2. So it was something that I always remember, that, and something that always stuck with me. And I think that just kind of embodied that year. It was a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good Frank moments. You really got to know him as a person. My best memories. What's up, bud? Okay, all right. Sorry, guys. Still dad over here, but there's so many good Frank moments, and it's always the way that for me, it's always the way he treated you as a person, and I know he gave me some time off when I needed it. He was always there for you, and realized that there was more than soccer. You know, he wanted to win more than anybody, but you know, when you needed it, he gave you time and he treated you like a person. And then when you came back, you literally die for him. And that was part of how we played, you know, because I wanted Frank to be successful. You know, I know that our careers, they come and go, and you know, we probably have a short period of time, you know, with Frank. And so each time I stepped out, I honestly had a thought of playing for Frank and wanting to be successful for him, because it's rare that somebody in the professional world actually cares about you beyond what are you doing for me lately. And so we all felt like that with Frank, and we all probably have a special moment of when when you realize that he truly cared. You know, and to piggyback on that, you know, why we were the way we were is because our best player was our hardest worker. Lenny or Wondo was you know, going for an all-time. He was going to break the record, which he did. And every single Monday morning,
Not really.
it could have, or even Sunday, Wondo was practicing. You know, I would have, but I would have got hurt, so they wouldn't allow me to. And Lenny's he's lazy, so he didn't want to. But you know, when Wando's your hardest worker and he's your best player, then it sets the standard, and there's no excuses to take time off. So you know, all those things into one is why we really cared for each other. We, you know, we weren't always the best, but we were going to outwork the other team, and we were going to fight to the death. I believe.
There's a question on here. Thanks for that long monologue, Gordo. Lost you like 8 minutes ago. But Jed, I'm just kidding.
Somebody grab some questions for it. Oh,
Jed, there's a question for you. It's what are your thoughts, reflections on each player here?
my thoughts and reflections. I didn't know people were worried about that.
Yes. Someone wanted to hear your what.
Oh, I mean, I always think of individual moments of each person because I've been around for so long. You know, everything matches together. But Wondo got drafted in 2005. He went to Bradenton for preseason, and he was trying to make the team. I think we were playing Kansas City, and I was standing next to Alexi Lalas watching this preseason game. Right at the end of the game, Wondo got in on a breakaway and chipped the goalie, and he got super pumped and was like smiling, pumping his fist a little bit, but not too crazy. And Lexi looked over and was like, I think this guy is going to make it, because he could feel his intensity and he wanted to be there. And from then on, it was all, you know, Wondo was always like the favorite of all the team staff and the people in the front office. And we had a great promotion that year. I don't know if you guys know that, Lenny and Gordo, that we had player 29. We had 28 player roster. The 29th player was a fan that we were including in the roster. And guess who was wearing number 29 on our team his rookie year was Chris Wondolowski. So he became player 29, the fan player on the roster. And we had all
my friends were giving me a hard time. Like, I won the contest, and so they were giving me a rookie year because no chance to see in the field or anything. But rocking the 29 jersey, and yeah.
I also Alan, I remember, because when he came in, he was, you know, a little bit grumpy because he'd been super injured, and then he scored a goal in the second game. And then we didn't see him again until I think it was preseason. We were in Ventura. And Frank said he didn't have to go to preseason at the beginning or something like that. And I walked up to the practice field, and the team was training. And I think we were coming down to do like a commercial with Wondo maybe. And Alan just standing on the sidelines watching practice by himself in like flip flops. And I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Like preseason, like, "Yeah, Frank's giving me some time off right now to get prepped for the season mentally." And it must have worked because he scored 13 goals that year. I think that was his career high. So you should have skipped preseason every year leading in.
Did.
He did.
Steven, I think I remember you from a plane ride back from Columbus in 2011. You started talking to me you asked me a million questions about everything going on in my life, nothing to do with soccer games or anything else. And you asking about where I was from, where I went to school, what I thought about this, what I thought about this thing, that thing, nothing about soccer. It was a good, interesting conversation. And while John Bush tried to interrupt it with a bunch of soccer talk and grumpy behavior, you deflected that all off and kept a good convo going the whole time. So those are my 3 top memories of each of you guys.
I just saw that question wasn't for the 3 of us. It was for John and Shay and those guys. But
so let me go. Wondo, who would you rather be in quarantine with, Gordo or Lenhart?
I'm gonna go with Lenny. Help meditate, feel well-rounded. Yeah, Lenny. I don't want to go into why Gordon couldn't go in because I think we'd be based out there somewhere.
I really secretly loved Lenny more. It's fine. It's fine. I can take that, Wondo. I'm just glad you're honest. You usually just beat around the bush and like say some kind of generic, but I like that from you.
Politically correct.
They always have their funny little photos before the game, like grabbing each other and doing goofy smiles. Like it's fine. They have a love connection. I respect it.
We never started together, so we couldn't bring you in on that. Like you started for me a couple times. You could have done that with the guy.
Who was there one Start 11 photo you guys didn't get to take together that you always wanted to?
Sorry, there a few times. Oh, you're talking about them?
Yeah, they have one they didn't get to do.
For sure.
Yeah, probably one where they're both naked.
It was literally always a spontaneous thing. So I mean, it was never a premeditated. We're going to do this, going to do that. It was literally about to happen. Kind of, what are you thinking? And yeah, some random.
Who farted face?
Exactly.
We got a question here from Kara. It says, Lenny, we're looking for tips on how to head the ball to goalkeeper's hands. Can you offer any tips on that?
Of course, Kara. I got your back. That's a pretty good one, Kara.
Try to aim for the corner. You'll hit it right at the goalie.
Freaking punk. If you feel like doing it, do it. Just throw your head in there and try and get more of the ball than the arm, and then stick around for the elbow.
Smart.
Are you guys still mad that Mike McGee didn't allow you guys to score a goal that game?
I am.
I wasn't there. I still want to make that disclaimer that I was not there during that game.
Where were you?
In LA, watching Gio Dos Santos make a mockery of the U.S. national team. What a great scene for it.
We watched the Gold Cup final on the video board at Buckshot after the game was over. That's right.
Wonder who was the center backs for that game?
Who are the center backs?
The Gold Cup game, yeah.
Who were they? It was Carlos Bocanegra and Clarence Goodson.
What did McGee
tweet the other day? Oh, he was tweeting out about that game.
Oh, he did?
Or not tweeting. I saw it on Instagram, but
he was just saying that.
It's pretty legendary. I could have kept Lenny I could have kept Lenny from scoring as well, but he's the only one that got a shot.
I'm not a goal scorer. That's not legendary at all, dude.
Speaking of goalkeepers, one of the greatest debates in our locker room that we've ever had, and probably one of the most heated ones, is our hands team and who would be on our hands team. And it's pretty funny, and I just kind of give an insight. I don't even know I have no idea how it started, and where the whole premise, but I'm pretty sure it was literally like an onside hands team who would won. But then it would evolve just to who actually has the best hands to catch any ball, which then evolved into just throwing things as hard as you can, whether it be in meal rooms and the things, just be like, hands team, just throw it at them and just see if they're ready to catch it. But that was always one of my favorite things, and I still don't have Lenny on mine, and Lenny is never a hand team. I'm waiting.
Yeah, the most disrespectful thing you could say to anybody was that they weren't on your top 3 hands team, and we would go around and we would leave people out. I'd say no, Wondo definitely number 1, Cronin solid hands, and then you pick another, and when Lenny would just be beside himself, and and we would all kind of go through and do that. Yeah.
I can't enter this conversation because everybody knows I'm top of the charts for their hands team. I would set the goal on the.
Oh, your hands are solid, but when it comes to that lineup, it's just the competition's stiff. You're just barely outside the top 3.
I have
most ceiling. You have the most room for improvement. I mean,
You're right, Wondo, and he was always honorable mention, always my 4th. And the reserve, like if somebody went down, like got a blister or something, couldn't catch, then Lenny, you're in.
It's freaking hilarious. You guys both know you put me on the freaking top of your list right now. Who are you putting on your list? Who's your top 3 hands team?
I got Gordo, Cam, and Jay right now. That's just right off the top of my head. But that's just.
I would agree with that.
I mean, I'm not even sure 5 right now. I mean, I'm just kind of spitballing, but I mean, you're probably top 5. You're 5. You're 5.
All right, on my list,
like Bush is 4. He's got good hands. Like Bush is 4. You're 5. But yeah, and you're not sharp right now, so you could be falling to. I'd have to test you out before I put you in.
Do you see the confidence in these 2 men right here? They don't even put themselves on their own list. It's like,
no, we're in. No, exactly.
We are. We're this is our team. Like we're captains. Like of our.
No, you're the coach. You sit on the sideline. Apparently, you don't want to be in the game, which is my biggest freaking problem with both of you. You guys always hid in big moments.
It wasn't you. That's how we won. So that was our.
A couple other questions. We do have someone on the call. Do you guys see the one for the shout out here at 527?
527. Shout out. What?
How about you?
From Jeffrey.
Shout out to Jeffrey.
From Jeffrey.
Parker, what's up, dog? 5-year-old.
What's up, Parker?
Dude, make sure you have as much fun as you can when you go out there every time you put your cleats on. And even if you don't have your cleats on, whenever you're playing with a ball, it's all about fun. If anyone tries to tell you that it's like, you got to do this, man, like make sure that fun is attached to it. If it's not, look at them and tell them, you cannot take my fun away. All right, Parker? That's my advice to you, brother. I love that question or that shout out.
Parker, every time you score, you celebrate. Every single time. And you send us your celebrations. I'll post it on my Instagram.
Yeah, man.
I suggest the jersey off one. It's a big hit.
Let it out.
Wando's never done the jersey off one though. Is there a reason?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about dance moves. Like Lenny, I mean, don't want to see anyone twerking out there, but I mean, you got to see a good dance move. But yeah, I mean, you definitely have to enjoy it. But it's actually kind of funny. Us 3, I think, all of us have very unique paths to being a professional, and so. But I think something that we all had in common was that we enjoyed it. We enjoyed every second of it, but we worked hard for it as well. And I think that's what made us enjoy it even more. And I don't know, especially for myself, speak on that, but I think these 2 as well have a pretty cool story and journey of how great careers they've made.
Someone just said jersey off is a card in youth soccer. Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Still take your jersey off. That's the point, dude. Take it off and
I would be so mad if I didn't get a card in a game. That's how I played. Yeah. Like that means you're doing something right.
Okay, but that's also two guys that work out and hit the gym and got some like serious muscles. If you're like a guy like me who has like no muscles whatsoever, major dad bod, got the fupa hanging over, like I mean, just make sure you just keep it simple in there with the cool dance moves. That's all you got.
When did you dance, bro? Let me.
Most overrated dance could be Lenny, but most fun with Lenny.
This game is about having joy in every minute. I try to get my kids to celebrate every single goal that they ever score in the games, and trust me, you have to work up to it because it's hard. It's hard to do. It's you feel embarrassed, but you shouldn't feel embarrassed to enjoy the game. And people want to take joy away from the game. It's about bringing it back. So, when I coach my daughter's team, we celebrate in practice. Anytime the girl scores a goal, we all celebrate for her. We all enjoy that moment. We got to bring joy back into sports and let them have fun. Let them celebrate. It's okay. We're not dogging the other team. We're celebrating in the right way because we worked hard for it, and it's a moment that you can remember forever. That's what sports are all about. In our sport too. I played against all my ex teams, and I was never the one to not celebrate. I'm never going to score a goal and not celebrate. It has nothing to do with you on the other side. It has to do with me and my teammates, what we did to get there. It's a moment, man. Like, I will never regret that.
And if you already have a yellow card in the game, don't take your shirt off. Be smart. I think did Matthias do that?
Yes.
MPG, Matias Perez Garcia against Salt Lake, scored to make it 2-1, like 87th minute, gets a red card, and also we played, so there's still 5 minutes left, and Tommy didn't know he got a red card, and so Tommy Thompson played the rest of the time not knowing that we were man down or what position he was playing. So that's also a good one.
Why don't you guys maybe share your favorite Quakes memory from either a goal or a celebration or a moment on the field? That is, if you guys can do that. We got about 10-15 minutes left here. So, Alan, you want to go first?
Yeah, my answer is pretty easy, but it's also kind of complicated because I don't want to take Wando's moment, but I remember I got suspended for the Portland game when he was chasing the record, and I talked to Lenny before we went out there, and I was saying, hey, draw a PK in the box, if you get a chance, so Wondo can break this record. And I remember being so damn proud of what Wondo had accomplished that year. I felt like I was a part of it, and I was really, really proud of Wondo for doing what he did, just because there's not been a person that I've been involved with in professional sports that acts the way Wondo does, and Landon does it as well. Landon's a pretty humble guy, and he treats the game the right way, but Wondo never ever had a ego. He never treated himself as more than us, and he's been doing this for a very, very long time, and he has every right to think he is the best that's ever done it, because he is. For that moment, and for me to be a part of that, I will always remember that moment above all else, because I felt he let me feel like I was a part of it in some way.
Before you go to the next guy, I will say on that goal in Portland, we put a picture up in the locker room in 2015 of Wondo celebrating that goal, and he came up to me immediately and said, take that picture down and put one up of my teammates celebrating that goal being scored, as opposed to one of me by myself. He probably doesn't want me to tell that story, but that's the kind of guy he always is. Never singular, always group.
Appreciate that. But I remember Buckshot. I remember my favorite was celebrating the supporter shield though against the Galaxy, like the game before. That was fun. Then having a champagne celebration in the locker room, and probably still smells like old cheap champagne, but that was fun.
Any one of the Cali Classicos, take your pick. Any goal in those games were just so, like, I don't know, there was like weight attached to them. But for me, when Wondo broke or tied the record, I just remember, like, I just started crying right when he scored, and I was like running after him, chasing him down, and my whole body was just full of tears and joy, and like just to be a part of that was like, I know it was like a Wondo did the thing, but I know Wondo was also like, dude, we did the thing. So there was like this amazing, like, I don't know. For me, it was I like no other soccer memory for me other than that moment. I just like lost on the field when you scored that goal, dude. Yeah.
More pissed when his record got broke than he was.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not that quick. It was 2 years.
I'm glad he shattered it though. I just come in hot. I was like,
How many did he score?
31, 32, 34, 34. And then now Bella has 34, maybe 33. Wow.
You know, sometimes people, you know, sometimes these weak people need somebody to show them that it is possible for it to actually, you know, it's hard to lead the way.
It's not the same now, dude. Like,
it's not the same game as we used to play, you know. It was a lot harder when we used to play. Guys weren't as good as couldn't curve the ball like he does. It's not fair.
Technology now is just,
yeah, the balls are juiced.
Are there any of those Cali Classico moments? I think there's a question here about Cali Classico moments. What stands out the most? Obviously, Alan, you scored that goal in 2013. Maybe you can talk about that one. Did you guys think you were going to come back in that game down 2-0 with 20 minutes to go and then Victor getting a red card? What was the mentality in that game?
You know, we earned the right to never feel like we were out of a game. And that's what I loved about the Quakes the most. It wasn't always that way. We earned that because we did fight till the end, and we had a lot of comeback wins, and it changed my life being on that team in a way that I raised my kids, that people come up to me and they ask me, you know, how did you do this, and how did you score so many goals? And I remember thinking when the 85th minute hit, I thought in my mind I had an advantage over the other team, because I felt that they were going to give me one moment where they took a break, and I am looking to punish you. And it has stuck with me for the rest of my life. I will be a Goonie until I die. And that is a true statement. And I preach that to my kids. Never, I tell them all the time. I tell them, Gordons never give up. And if you ask my kids, that is the one thing I tell them. I said, you're never out of the fight. Just stay in it, keep fighting. And the Quakes taught me that. My brothers right here, they taught me that, because when I would get subbed on, Wondo would be right there and Lenny would be right there. And the first thing that they would say to me, I felt like I hadn't been a part of the game, and they were excited that I was coming in. And I just remember Wondo and Lenny and Shay and Sammy and all these guys that were mentioned, they would all look at me and be like, let's go. We're going to do it. And it didn't have, there was so many of those games that we didn't, but we never gave up that hope because, it eventually happened.
It's hard to top that one. Beautifully said.
I could top it, but I'm not gonna.
Where do we go from there? Where do we go from there? I don't know. We got about 3-4 minutes left. Somebody's got any? Somebody says Lenny's got a guitar in his place. Can you play the guitar?
Oh, jeez.
We got a couple. What do you want?
Now we're going to get his guitar. Here we go.
It's not a tune.
Oh,
I've seen him play keyboard. I haven't seen him.
I got a keyboard right here.
I can believe you know how to play the keyboard. Guitar, I want to see the guitar.
This is Stefani Miglioranzi's guitar.
Really?
Columbus, I think.
He lives in San Jose right now.
Yeah, I actually broke it. Like, this is like a $3,000 guitar, and I broke it. So I just got it fixed, and I got to drive back up and give it to him. Ooh, it sounds good. That's me.
Bro.
I'm not.
That was good. Good start.
Right.
With a lot of talent, though. Either looking for guitar or not wanting to hear guitar. I'm not sure which one.
Or grabbing another beer, or.
What did I miss?
Oh, okay, yeah. No, you missed. It was a brilliant solo, Eddie Van Halen-esque.
Let's go through a couple of these. There's some
questions in here.
shout outs. Wondo, what's the water spray from?
I was a WWF even before his WWE fan back in high school, and way too superstitious to stop it. So started that in high school, and including my sock roll. I think it's the dumbest look ever, but that too superstitious to stop and just keep rocking it.
Wondo, how old were you when you started playing soccer?
I remember playing all sports young, but I mean probably like 5, 6.
Can we give a shout out to Carlos? He's 4.
What's up, Carlos? Keep scoring.
What advice you got for him? He's 4 years old. He's getting in.
Enjoy it. Make sure you have fun, man.
Any goal celebrations that you've been thinking about since being in quarantine? Are you going to score anymore, or what's the deal? Are you going to retire? Are you going to try and play another year?
Oh no, I was going to see what's it become, be a yogi or become masseuse. I've heard some of the stories on the training. I'm not sure if I have that, so I need more of like a fast track because retirement's coming up. So I'm not sure if I have.
We can get you some oils if you lubing people up.
You missed this question, Lenny. What is the most memorable wild animal encounter experience you've had?
Oh man, I had a water buffalo try and attack me once when I was in Nepal on the trail. Scared the crap out of me. I had a freaking lemon shark, or I don't even know what it was. It was nighttime. I was lobster diving in Catalina, and I had a shark swim into my side. I think it was blind or something, but dude.
Dude, you're like Owen Wilson in Meet the Parents. You're like, yeah, I carved this what do you call it?
Yeah.
A totem pole. I once.
Pretty incredible. This guy should write a book.
I was in Zimbabwe or Zambia. Blue whales for sure. Blue whales. I was out in the middle of the Pacific, and there was 3 blue whales that surfaced right around me and my brother. It's the biggest animal in the world for sure.
We are at 6 o'clock, but I do have one question beforehand, then I'll give you guys one last question each. But Lenny, I got asked today to ask about if you still have all of your toes, or if you actually lost your toe in the injury incident from 2013. Okay, yeah.
What incident was that?
When
You were still there? I don't know if you were here. You might have been.
it was actually, I was reflecting on this the other day. I think it was. Oh no, it wasn't that day. No, I was riding my bike in sandals, and my foot slipped off the pedal, and it straight into the spoke of my front tire. I was going pretty fast, and the front fork stopped all my momentum with my toe in it, and I went flying over the handlebars. And
Where was I?
you were gone. I don't know. Where were you?
Jeez.
But I still have my toes, man. I'm still here. I surfed today.
Nice. All right. Well, to wrap it up, maybe you guys can just give it one last thought to all the Quakes fans, whether that's a memory or a quarantine message or whatever final thoughts you guys have, or about your friends on the team or your relationship with your teammates, etc. So I'll start with Chris. You can start it.
All right. Message to the fans. Thank you guys. As always, it's so much fun being able to have these memories, especially to reminisce with these two guys that I'm lucky to call friends. And they're going to be lifelong friends, whether they like it or not. I'll be showing up on Gordo's front porch and showing up on Lenny's front passenger side window. But either way, it's going to be a lifelong, and I can't wait for it, and I love it. So thank you guys, but thank you fans as well.
Alan?
Lenny always wants the last word. Yeah, I'll just say, a lot of back and forth. Obviously, I've wore both badges, Galaxy and San Jose. It doesn't mean anything to me. I have Quakes blood. I have Quakes memories. Some of my best memories in sports were with the fans. Fans have always been fantastic to me. I appreciate you guys more than you know. It doesn't matter how you feel about me and me playing for Galaxy. I appreciate all the memories playing with these guys. I could not have asked for better teammates and better fans, and the way that everybody welcomed me is just something I'm really, really lucky to have ever experienced. And so keep supporting the team the way you supported us, and I love you guys forever.
Steven?
You actually want me
Want to put it out here?
Shout outs. Let's see. Earthquakes fans, man. Down to earth, gritty. I love you guys. You guys created that insular space in Buckshot while we were all there, and really felt you guys on the field with us. Couldn't help but feel you on the field because you basically were on the field, which is awesome. Playing with these guys, many memories to remember. That sentence even makes sense. And more so, beyond the earthquakes and the rivalries and all of it, what a cool opportunity to be able to share in this life from soccer being our point of contact. I'm super appreciative to how soccer has impacted me and how many relationships and doors it has opened, not just the professional level, but in my travels and in the ways that I've gotten to know the world and all the people that I've been connected with. So it's amazing that you guys are here and interested in our stories, but it's also vice versa. We don't get to be here without you guys. So and your guys' interest and love in the game and passion. So we feed off of that. We love it. Keep bringing it. It supports us in ways that we can't even talk about. And yeah, this is an awesome time for me to come on to here and relive some of my soccer past glory and some weird moments, but pleasure to be here with all of you. It's cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much. Thank you, Chris, Alan, and Steven for hanging out for an hour. And thanks to all the fans for jumping on. We appreciate all your support while we're here hanging out and hoping the MLS returns soon and we can all see you at the stadium in the near future. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Wondo, see you in like 3 years.